Good morning, my loves. Welcome back. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the 5th house and the 11th house. And we will learn what these two have in common and why we can't really look at them in isolation. So let's start with the 5th house. The 5th house is the house of creation. It's the house of pleasure. It's the house of fun and play. It's also the house of children. Because it is the house of creation, because when we talk about creation, we talk about anything we can create. Anything that we can create, we can find in the 5th house. And generally, when we look at creation, it is a very playful, fun thing. Anything we create is supposed to come from a place of excitement, a place of pleasure, a place of playfulness. From that place we create. And just to already make the connection to the 11th house, when we create something, we generally create it from that, like I said, place of pleasure and fun, and we enjoy it and we are having a good time. And the connection to the 11th house here is, how do we then affect others with it? How does our pleasure affect our community? How do we give back? Because the 5th house really, this axis, the 5th house, 11th house axis actually teaches us about giving from our overflow. Because when we create whatever we like to create, right? Maybe you're a painter. Maybe you like to make, I don't know, puzzles, sitting there. I remember my sister, she loved puzzles. She had like the biggest puzzles. The whole living room was just a whole puzzle. And I've always noticed how excited it made her. Like not just the finished product, but the process. In the process of creation, she literally, it wasn't like taking energy for her, it was giving her energy. And that energy that we get from something that gives us pleasure, we can then share with the world in the 11th house, because the 11th house is all about the humanitarian, how we share with our friends, with our community, with the collective, how we give back. And let's go back to the 5th house. In the 5th house, we also find romance. And we also find, when we look at it from a relationship perspective, our lovers are found in the 5th house. Because when we talk about lovers, we talk about playfulness. There's fun, there is this excitement there. Naturally, the 5th house is the house of Leo, right? Leo fits that description the best. And then the 11th house is the house of Aquarius. And what do these two signs have in common? Well, at first glance, nothing, right? You think, well, Aquarius is the maverick, the little crazy person that maybe invents the next big thing. And then Leo is the actor. It's the one that is showing off and is having a good time and is really concerned with himself or herself. But when we look at it generally, both are creations, both are creating, and both are contributing to society in their own ways, right? You have the entertainer on one end of the spectrum, and then you have the brainiac, the one that sits there and codes like the latest, game. The inventor that also in its own way uses creativity to create something. So I like to call this axis the axis of creation and also connection, because in both areas we create and we connect. Our creation connects us. The way we create connects us. In the Leo area, the way we do it is by entertaining, by just having a good time playing. And then on the other side, we also play and create, but just in a different way. So it's more, you may say, well, it's a more advanced way to create in the 11th house, and that may be true. I would say it is just a different way of playing and creating. You know, the 5th house area is more fire-based, the 11th house area is more mental. It's the element of air. So at the end of the day, what do we learn here? Well, we learn that we are our own creators. We create, and by creating, we are giving life to something else, but also to ourselves. So it's a life-giving flow in this area that then also moves society forward. So we are contributing to society in this axis. We are learning to give from our overflow, and we are also learning how that then affects others, how what we create lives on beyond our earthly existence. So if you have any questions about this axis in particular, leave me a comment in the comment section. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.